having me. I'm Mandy Shunnarah, they, them pronouns. She, her if you're nasty. I figure I gotta bring the humor if I'm sharing the stage with the comedians. So I'm going to read you an unhinged bisexual poem. I love to get high and write poems, and that sends me down some creative Google rabbit holes. And I practice a form of poetry called docu-poetics, so I incorporate research and stuff. And down one of these Google rabbit holes, I found the following quote that really pissed me off. So here we go. Quote, "The number of nerve fibers within the human clitoris has never been officially quantified. The most oft-cited claim is that the clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings, but this figure originates from a bovine study mentioned in a book titled The Clitoris, which appeared in 1976. Now this is from a news article in a medical news publication from 2022, when they were very proud to announce, we officially know how many nerves are in the clit. And surprise, it's more than 8,000. And I'm sitting there hold up. Are you telling me y'all were digging around counting the fibers in cow clits before human clits? Are you for real? So that led me down some more Google rabbit holes, and I learned that cows are very like myself, frustrated bisexuals. Do you perhaps have a moo sound that you can put on there? No pressure. I swear to God, I could not have planned that better. Okay, remember what number that is on the thing, and I'm just going to trust you to hit it at the right times. So here we go. This poem is called Ode to Cows and Clitorises. I imagine her, Bessie, a retired milk cow, 5 years old and sent to slaughter when her udders trickled too slow, intercepted by medical students who couldn't get the funding to research what they really wanted to know. Bessie, stunned, then exsanguinated like her beef-destined brethren, tipped onto a metal table, bony legs aloft with rigor, a woman in dreaded anticipation of the embrace of her cruel lover. Bessie receives the scalpel instead, in her tenderest of tender flesh, with science taking census of her pleasure. I think of Bessie, cold with death, hacked insides sliced onto microscope slides, and remember the times a man called me frigid, and more besides, who called me a cow for a rebuffed advance or less, heifer if he thought me fat, an insult so unoriginal as to be biblical. No joke, Delilah was called a heifer by Samson, so that's why she cut the fucker's hair. My own tender flesh, plush enough for a street corner shriek, but not a respectful fuck. If given no other choice, I too would rather ruminate in a field, ponder grass, and make lowing moans after morning cocks, or just because I was feeling myself. The dissectors need only count half. Nerves are thread parallel. They stop at 4,000 and multiply. An echoed climax Bessie didn't live to tell. And half a century later, Bessie gone to dust, surgeons count the nerves in the human clitoris and found 2,000 more. But I could have told them that. Find me behind a barn in the hayloft, straddling a lap on a tractor seat. Bull dyke, reverse cowgirl, it's in the names. We come by it honestly. Cows will let another cow or heifer mount her before she'll stand for a bull, and she'll try to mount the bull before she'll stand for him to breed. I, too, have been a fat country queer, fed up with men, and longing for a willing woman with digital dexterity. I, too, have bawled and wandered in search of euphoria in a body built for exquisite bliss. I, too, have been known to give up and give in to take what I can get. Excellent sound work, might I add.
No problem, I got you.
I don't know that this one has any like sound accompaniment. So, but it's another unhinged queer poem that I wrote while very high. So once again, I was like down these Google rabbit holes, and then I found this quote. Can you tell I'm a journalist in my like non-creative life? Okay, so I found this one. Quote, on February 25th, 2021, Hasbro dropped the honorific in the brand name and began marketing the toy simply as Potato Head, while retaining the individual characters of Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. However, several media outlets misinterpreted the announcement as stating that all Potato Head products would henceforth be gender neutral. And God forbid we can't have gender neutral potato heads. Conservative media would have a field day. So they had some things to say. So now I, as a non-binary person, have some things to say. Has anybody ever been to like a free store, a swap meet? You know, it's like a, okay, good. Yeah, I knew I wasn't the only broke bitch in here. But yeah, I love like, for those of you who haven't been, you take the things you don't want, spread them out, people grab what they want, and leave. And it's all free. It's great. So this one is called Mixed Potato Head at the Gender Swap Meet. At the yard sale where no one pays, they come to dump their calf stops, the sequin jumpsuits that jived with gender just once, the fast fashion shoes size 11, because what drag queen has money for Manolos and she wouldn't wear them to the Sticky Ford Gay Club if she did, Henny? The 90s button-downs, all color block and embroidered polo players on the breast to worry the raised edges of top surgery battle scars in the making, and zines on brewing bathtub estrogen. Imagine if we could switch body parts as easily as clothes, like the Potato Head family. My mammoth memories for your phallus, ma'am. Your biceps for my muffin top. Your Adam's apple and jutting jaw for my smooth cheeks and cavernous pit of pleasure. Instead, a black derby hat for a plastic pearl necklace, a stick-on mustache and blue sneakers for a pink pony purse and purple-lidded falsies, your grandpa sweatered cottagecore for my fashion school fail-out eclectic, and so many handkerchiefs in every color of the hanky code. You can jump into a pile like raked leaves and smile for a chosen family photo to go on the mantle of your childhood home, like the school pics and glamour shots you wish you had, the ones that show who you've always been. Woo! So when I was taught public speaking and performance stuff, I was taught, make them laugh and then make them cry. So this is the part where I tell you, I'm Palestinian. Fuck yeah, free Palestine. Okay. I see some of you are surprised. I clearly put the palest in Palestinian. I wrote this poem while extremely fucking depressed, and like a lot of Palestinians in diaspora, we deal with that with self-deprecating humor and trying to make sense of the world through art. So here's a poem I wrote at around somewhere between 3 and 4 in the morning last October. Not this past October, the one before, 2023. The one they say was when it all began. Not true, by the way. But here we go. This one's called Ars Poetica of Partridges and Palestine. And you'll hear me say the word Cedo, that's the Arabic word for grandfather. Cedo told me once our last name means partridge, that sweet little bird in the pear tree every Christmas. I'm looking for metaphors on Wikipedia again. It's easy to write poems about birds with so many species of partridges. National Geographic says 43 of those species are decreasing in population, something Palestinians know all too well. People like poems about birds more than they like poems about Palestine and actual Palestine and her endangered people. We just won't go extinct quickly enough. But I digress. That's not the metaphor I'm looking for just yet. They interviewed an avian ecologist who says partridges are ground dwellers, unlikely to roost in pear trees. So those first day of Christmas birds of the family Faisinae, presents from one's true love, were put in pear trees against their will. Branches like an open-air prison the world ignores because at least they can still see sky. Some might say I'm reaching, but that's what metaphors do. And inside them, there's always a feather of truth. This I know. When it comes to partridges and Palestine, the pervasive popular messaging around us both is false. The difference is, everyone knows senselessly killing birds is wrong. I've got 3 more. I hope I'm doing okay on time. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, cool. So one of Palestine's most famous poets who's alive right now, his name is Mossab Abu Toha, and he has this poem called We Love What We Have. And a lot of my stuff, as you can tell, is not only scientifically sound, it also, I take inspiration from other poets because I try to be in conversation with them. So the epigraph on this one says, "What's here is something that we are still building. It's something we cannot yet see because we are a part of it." And that's from his poem, We Love What We Have. And so mine, in response to him, is, we love what we long for. Palestinians are siblings to longing and cousins to hope. I carry the memories of my Cedo and Teta in my blood and bones. I touch the tattoos of a thobe against my skin, though I've never worn it. I feel Cedo's worry beads in my pocket, though I've never carried them. I feel the Ramallah desert sun on my flesh, though I've never basked in it. I smell the smoky scent of red poppies, though I've never picked a bouquet. I sense the oud's plucked notes through the city, though I've never heard a chord. I feel the cool metal key to my grandparents' stone house, raised before I was born. I taste the oil mashed from family olive trees, though I've never fed upon its nectar. I savor the ripe homeland figs, though I've never tongued the toothsome fruit. The hope for a free Palestine makes us daydreamers and time travelers. I yearn for what I fear I'll never have. I long for the simplest of pleasures. I dream of a bare spot among the poppies, the sun on my face, figs on my tongue, a picnic on the Jordan riverbank, and a key in my purse to a home I can return to. And then because I'm a sarcastic bitch, I like to take classical forms of poetry, but then twist them to be very colloquial. So there's this form of poetry called the ghazal, which originated in ancient Persia, and it kind of has a intentional rhyme scheme where you repeat the end word for emphasis. And this poem takes inspiration from one of our other super famous Palestinian poets who, like me, was also a journalist. Her name is Naomi Shihab Nye, and in her collection, Tiny Journalist, she had this quote in one of her poems that really stuck with me. Quote, "They blame us for everything, forgetting what they took and how they took it. The saddest part, we could have all had twice as many friends." So with that inspiration, I give you Prayer Ghazal. Arabs are known for our hospitality, but goddamn, we accepted Shua's refugees as neighbors, goddamn. We welcomed their ships on our shores, goddamn, but we didn't mean for them to take it all, goddamn. It's awful what they went through, but it wasn't our fault, goddamn. Why not plunder Europe, not commit theft of our land, goddamn? We could have had twice as many friends, ya Allah, goddamn. We invited you in and are now asking you to leave, goddamn. These colonizer guests always overstay their welcome, goddamn, but now the world sees. Maybe we get a free Palestine, inshallah, goddamn. And because I don't like to leave audiences depressed, I love to end on a love poem, actually, because I think they are unfairly maligned and seen as Thank you. I agree. People should give love poems more respect. You're being so vulnerable putting your ass out there. I actually wrote this for someone who thankfully didn't break up with me after I wrote it for them. That's another self-deprecating joke, because you'd be surprised how many times that's happened. Amazing, I'm still a poet. We love the pain. So this one, if you're familiar with the poet Ross Gay, he has this book called Book of Delights, where he challenged himself every single day to write something about something that he found delightful. Something's big, something small. And that's not to say that he closed his eyes to the suffering of the world, but that he was intentionally looking for the beauty in spite of it. So this poem is an homage to him. It's called Small Delights. I leave your bed to collect trinkets, though I tell you I'm going to work. Little things, a first date at a coffee shop, a whimsical rock, a PT Cruiser bedecked like a disco ball, a cat crossing the street on jaunty paws. The world is full of small delights. Still, the leaving is reluctant. What I wouldn't give to lay my head on your chest and curl my legs in yours, pretending clocks don't exist. We don't need money and the boss won't mind. Shake our fists at errands and hunger pangs. But then, how would I curate the world when you're not there? How would I see the little things, the poster for lost keys, the ticker tape of autumn leaves, the plastic dinosaur dropped in the parking lot, and think, I can't wait to tell you this. Woo! Thank you so much. That was the end of my poems, but I have a stack of books. So yeah, the book is actually not poetry. It's the only book of the skate history of the Midwest, because it's not all white boys in California on skateboards. God damn it! Thank you. So this covers Midwest Shreds talks about all kinds of skaters. So yes, there are some skateboarders, rollerbladers, roller skaters, wheelchair skaters, extreme unicyclists, anybody who uses a ramp or some kind of like skate park feature, like this book is for you. I traveled big cities, small towns all throughout the region, interviewing everyone from amateurs to professionals, and each chapter is a different location and also focuses on a different social justice issue through the lens of skating. So if you're a fucking weirdo like me, you can find me back there. I will be happy to sign books. So yeah, thank you so much.